Okay, algebra, we're moving on to our next lesson in our unit on quadratics. We're solving quadratic equations by factoring in this unit. So we got a couple examples up here. We're just going to get right into them. So our first example is actually already factored. We didn't need to factor it. It was factored because I want you to kind of understand the concept of what we're doing here. So we got two binomials that are being multiplied by each other and equal 0. So x plus 5 is our first binomial, x minus 6 is our second binomial, and they equal 0. Let's think about what we know about multiplying two things and getting 0. When we multiply two things and get 0, one of those must be 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 times 9 is 0. The only way to get 0 is to multiply something by 0. So what that's telling us is either this binomial or this binomial, one of those two has to be 0. So basically what we do is, let me get the right color here. So one of these has to equal 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into two equations. I'm going to say either x plus 5 equals 0 or x minus 6 equals 0. And then I solve both of those equations. So the first one, just subtract 5, x equals negative 5. Second one, add 6. We get x equals 6. And that is our answer. Either x has to equal negative 5 because if we plug it in, negative 5 plus 5 is 0. Or x has to equal 6 because 6 minus 6 is 0. So basically what we're saying is x has to be one of those two numbers. And you need that or in there. Don't put an and because it doesn't equal both of those. It equals one or the other one. So let's look at the next example now. This one is not factored. So basically we have to get from here to something like this. So we have to, if you remember, we called it unfoiling. We have to unfoil this. We have to factor it. So I know it's going to be binomial times a binomial, which will equal 0. And I'll look at this here. I can see this is x squared, so it's going to be x times x. And then I look at my last number, it's 8. So I'm thinking of factors of 8 that I can add together to get 6. Well, that would be 4 and 2. So it's going to be x plus 4, x plus 2. And again, the order doesn't matter. If you had x plus 2, then x plus 4, it's fine. So now we just move on to what we did in this problem. I split it into 2. So either x plus 4 equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. Solve the first one. We get x equals negative 4. Solve the second one. Subtract 2. We get x equals negative 2. And that is our answer. So, and if I went back to that original problem and I plugged in either of those, for x, I'm going to get 0. It's going to work. So you can check your answers by taking those two and plugging them in and making sure they work. All right, that's example 1. I got 2 more coming for you here. So